Your willpower isn't broken. If sugar feels impossible to resist, it's not a character flaw. Your brain is doing exactly what it learned. Sugar doesn't just make you feel good. It trains your brain. And once trained, your choices stop feeling like choices. Notice when cravings hit. Same time, same place, same screen. That's not hunger. That's prediction firing on autopilot. This is why quitting sugar cold turkey usually fails. You're fighting learned cues, not a lack of discipline. The real fix isn't more self-control. It's breaking the cue reward wiring that runs your behavior in the background. We'll do it using friction, timing, and swaps. No extremes. Just redesigning the system so healthy choices win by default. In the morning, self-control feels easy. You feel disciplined, focused, like today will be different. Nothing is wrong yet. But self-control is not unlimited. It fades as your brain makes decisions, solves problems, and handles stress all day. Every notification, choice, and tiny stressor quietly taxes the same mental system you later need to resist sugar. By the time you face sugar, your brain isn't choosing freely. It's already tired and looking for the fastest reward. When energy drops, your brain switches to autopilot. Habits take over. Conscious control steps aside. Autopilot follows what's familiar, not what's optimal. Whatever you repeated before becomes the default action. Stress makes this worse. Stress narrows thinking and increases the pull of quick, predictable rewards. That's why sugar feels earned after a hard day. Your brain is seeking relief, not pleasure. Motivation doesn't fail because you're weak. It fails because it's the wrong tool for an automated system. Telling yourself to try harder is like asking a tired brain to run faster with less fuel. Most sugar decisions happen before you're aware of them. The choice is made, then justified afterward. That regret isn't proof of failure. It's proof the system acted faster than awareness. When this happens repeatedly, people blame themselves instead of questioning the environment shaping the behavior. Same cues, same timing, same context. The brain learns patterns, not intentions. That's why fresh starts don't last. New goals don't erase old cue reward wiring. Fighting habits with willpower is exhausting because habits are designed to save energy, not test discipline. If nothing changes around you, behavior will drift back automatically, no matter how serious your intentions are. So the problem isn't self-control. The problem is asking it to do a job it was never meant to do. Once you see this clearly, the solution shifts from self-blame to system design. First mistake everyone makes: thinking dopamine equals pleasure. It doesn't. Dopamine is about wanting, not enjoying. Your brain separates wanting from liking. You can crave something intensely, even when it no longer feels that good. Ever notice the first bite is amazing, but you keep eating anyway? That's wanting running after liking already faded. Dopamine pushes behavior forward. It says, go get it again, not, you're satisfied now. Sugar works like social media. The anticipation hits harder than the reward itself. After eating, pleasure drops quickly. But dopamine doesn't care. It already did its job. This is why sugar pairs so well with screens. Your brain stacks anticipation from multiple sources at once. Dopamine speeds behavior up. It narrows focus toward the reward and quiets everything else. Hunger signals can be ignored when wanting is loud enough. That's why fullness doesn't always stop sugar. Liking is about taste and enjoyment. Wanting is about pursuit. Sugar mainly hijacks the pursuit system. Once wanting is triggered, it pulls attention back again and again, even without conscious permission. The biggest dopamine spike often happens before you eat, not during. Seeing sugar, thinking about it, or expecting it can activate the system just as strongly as eating. As you eat, dopamine drops. The brain is already looking for the next hit. This creates the weird feeling of wanting more without enjoying it more. Whole foods don't spike anticipation the same way. They satisfy hunger without hijacking the chase system. Ultra-processed foods are engineered to maximize wanting, not fullness or enjoyment. Bright colors, crunch, sugar, fat, and speed all amplify dopamine signals. This is why stopping feels hard. You're not fighting taste. You're fighting anticipation momentum. Once you understand this, cravings stop feeling mysterious. They're learned signals, not personal failures. Now here's the part most people never hear. Dopamine is really about prediction, not reward itself. When something good is better than expected, dopamine spikes higher. Surprise teaches the brain fast. When the reward matches expectation, dopamine drops. The brain says, nothing new learned. When the reward doesn't arrive, dopamine crashes. The brain updates its predictions. This difference between expected and actual reward is called dopamine prediction error. Prediction error is how habits are written into your brain. Bigger surprise means stronger learning. Sugar is powerful because it often arrives unpredictably. That randomness keeps dopamine high. This is the same system behind gambling and scrolling. Uncertainty fuels anticipation. Over time, the brain learns cues that predict sugar and releases dopamine earlier. The cue becomes the reward signal. Time, place, or mood can trigger wanting automatically. By the time you notice the craving, dopamine already fired. The decision feels inevitable. That's why cravings feel disconnected from hunger. They're driven by prediction, not need. Repetition locks the prediction. Same cue, same outcome, stronger wiring. Late-night sugar is especially sticky because your brain is already low on control. Stress amplifies prediction signals. The brain learns that sugar equals relief. Eventually, the loop runs without checking if sugar still delivers what it promised. The reward shrinks, but the prediction stays strong. That mismatch drives repeated chasing. To feel the same effect, people often escalate quantity or frequency without noticing. Modern environments flood the brain with sugar predictions all day long. That's why it feels overwhelming. You're not resisting one craving, but hundreds of predictions. The good news is, this wiring isn't permanent. Predictions weaken when cues stop paying off. When sugar doesn't follow the cue, the brain updates. Dopamine responses slowly fade. No reward, no surprise, no learning. That's how habits start to dissolve. This is where strategy matters, not willpower. Strategic interruption of prediction. Once you understand prediction error, changing behavior becomes a design problem, not a personal battle. There's a term for this magnetic pull: incentive salience. It means certain cues grab your attention and won't let go. When a cue gains incentive salience, it feels important, urgent, almost demanding action. This isn't a choice problem. Your attention is being hijacked before choice even starts. That's why just ignore it rarely works. Salient cues pull focus automatically. Even a quick glimpse can activate wanting. Full awareness isn't required. Incentive salience works best when you're distracted. Multitasking lowers resistance. Ultra-processed foods are designed to maximize salience. Colors, textures, and branding all matter. It's not fair competition. One food whispers, the other shouts. Screens amplify salience. Visual cues stacked with dopamine make wanting spike fast. Certain locations become loaded. Couch plus screen plus night equals a powerful cue bundle. Time itself can become a trigger. Your brain learns patterns down to the hour. Once salience is strong, your body moves before your mind catches up. That "how did I end up here?" feeling is incentive salience in action. The urge feels physical because dopamine prepares the body to act. Wanting isn't a thought, it's a readiness state. Your brain frames it as reasonable because the goal is action, not moderation. Once action happens, salience drops. That's why the urge vanishes mid-bite. But the system resets quickly, especially if cues are still present. More cues mean more reactivation. The loop restarts again and again. Remove the cue, and salience collapses. Out of sight really does mean out of mind. Distance matters. Even small barriers reduce salience dramatically. When cues are quiet, self-control feels easy again. Nothing magical changed. The pressure did. This is why environment beats discipline. You're shaping what your brain notices. Once you control cues, you control behavior without constant effort. Now let's use this to break the sugar loop in practice. Here's the real trap. Sugar isn't the problem. The cue reward wiring around it is. The brain doesn't crave sugar randomly. It learns exact timing. Same desk, same drawer, same habit. The environment does the remembering for you. Location matters. Certain places become permission slips for sugar. Screens are powerful amplifiers. They lower awareness while feeding anticipation. Emotional states can be cues too. Stress, boredom, and fatigue all predict sugar. Your brain frames sugar as relief, not indulgence. Relief arrives fast, but it doesn't last. Because the reward is short, the brain learns to repeat the loop. Over time, the loop shifts later and later when control is weakest. This is why sugar often disappoints, yet still pulls you back. When relief shrinks, the brain tries more, not less. The behavior continues even when enjoyment drops close to zero. The brain isn't chasing flavor. It's chasing predicted relief. Breaking this at the reward stage is hardest. The loop already completed. The earlier you intervene, the easier the loop is to break. Awareness helps, but awareness alone isn't enough. Habits don't ask permission. They execute stored predictions. Once you see the wiring clearly, guilt starts to dissolve. The goal isn't to fight urges, it's to redesign the loop. Change the cue, change the outcome. And you only need to cut one weak point for the whole system to weaken. That's exactly what we'll do next. Now we move from theory to action. The fastest wins come from breaking cues, not fighting cravings. First rule: remove visual triggers. What you don't see doesn't activate wanting. Even small changes matter. One empty drawer can stop dozens of autopilot snacks. Add distance. If sugar requires effort, dopamine drops before action starts. Change routes. New paths break old predictions. Replace cues instead of removing them. Same habit slot, different outcome. Your brain doesn't argue. It follows what's available. Put boring, healthy food at eye level. Hide exciting food behind friction. Defaults decide behavior more than intentions ever will. Separate eating from screens. New location, weaker cue. Same couch, no sugar, prediction error starts rewriting the loop. When sugar doesn't follow the cue, wanting weakens over time. This isn't about perfection. It's about reducing how often cues fire. Start early. Fewer blood sugar crashes mean fewer cues later. Hydration helps too. Thirst often disguises itself as craving. Anticipate predictable cravings. Intercept them before they peak. Movement breaks prediction chains. New input resets attention. Most urges peak and fade in minutes when cues are interrupted. Each broken cue teaches your brain a new expectation. The loop doesn't shatter instantly. It weakens quietly. Fewer cues mean fewer battles. Next, we make sugar even less tempting by adding friction. After breaking cues, the next move is friction. Make sugar slightly annoying to get. Extra steps matter. Every barrier gives your brain time to cool off. Friction interrupts autopilot. Habits hate inconvenience. avoid large packages. Portion friction limits mindless escalation. Physical effort reduces wanting more than mental rules ever will. Rule number 1. No sugar while scrolling. Stack friction where habits thrive. Changing the sequence matters. Eat first, scroll later, not together. Add a pause. Even 30 seconds can dissolve impulsive urges. Most cravings peak fast and fall just as fast when delayed. If you still want it after the pause, fine. Conscious beats automatic. End-of-day friction works well. Teeth brushed equals eating finished. Environmental shutdowns reduce late-night cue activation. You don't need extreme rules. You need enough friction to slow momentum. When effort outweighs anticipation, the brain backs off naturally. No force, no guilt, just a quiet redirection. This is how you beat habits without feeling deprived. Less action means weaker predictions over time. Sugar loses power when access loses speed. Now we finish with the final piece: timing and smart swaps. If you're going to have sugar, timing matters more than restriction. Sugar earlier creates less damage than sugar late, when control is lowest. Protein before sweets blunts, dopamine spikes, and reduces chasing. You'll want less, not because of discipline, but chemistry. Use swaps, not bans. Fruit satisfies sweetness with less hijacking. Whole foods slow absorption and reduce prediction intensity. Boring beats exciting. Availability beats motivation. Your brain goes for what's easiest, not what's best. Prep removes decision-making when energy is low. As timing improves, cravings naturally shrink. The goal isn't zero sugar, it's zero autopilot. When prediction weakens, sugar loses urgency. You're no longer reacting, you're choosing. If sugar has felt powerful, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means your brain learned well. This was never about self-control. It was about prediction, cues, and design. Change the system, and behavior follows without constant effort. Break the cue. Add friction, fix the timing, use boring swaps. When the chase disappears, cravings stop running your day. Start with one small change tonight. That's enough to begin rewiring. You don't need more discipline. You need a better setup. Fix the environment. Let your brain do the rest.